Lisa,
Yes, baby girl.
when I grow up, I want to be a WOMENACE to society.
And so shall you be. Hey, welcome everybody to WOMENACE to Society. I have the privilege of speaking with Ryan Anderson today. Welcome to the podcast, Ryan.
Oh, thanks for inviting me. I'm actually really excited.
I'm excited too. I think you're awesome. I
Thank you.
I think you're terrific because you're one of those young people who has figured it out. It doesn't matter what your age is. If you have a goal, you make it happen.
Oh, not at all. It doesn't matter your age. It matters about like your heart and what you want to do with it.
Exactly. And I know you were instrumental in getting some changes made to your high school.
Yes. So when I was back in high school, I'm currently 21, but at the time I was 16 going on 17. Our school decided to kind of change around our bell schedule and do things that just weren't really working for any of the students. Long story short, they had taken a 7-minute passing period and then split the lunches and made the 7-minute passing period into a 5-minute passing period. And although that doesn't seem like a whole lot, I mean, being in a big school where it was actually kind of hard to already get around, it was kind of making it almost impossible for the students to get across from them. And that wasn't just my school, but that was our entire town schools system, like for all of the high schools. And I had actually witnessed a person running to class, like sprinting to class from the bathroom, and actually topple over one of the kids that were bound to a wheelchair. And it was horrifying. Like, I was actually kind of shocked, like, oh my gosh, like, I hope everybody is okay. So I ran up trying to help, and the teacher who was helping the student, because it's one of those it was one of those teachers that they're there to help the students if they have a disability. They just stopped us and said, go on, you're going to be late. And and the person that fell in the wheelchair was like bawling in pain. It was just like, oh my gosh, like, really? Like, can we help? We feel bad for this, and that's where I kind of knew that this is where I draw the line. This can't continue any longer. And so I went online to Facebook and said how this was outrageous, how this is just ridiculous. We're not sure why they changed it in the first place. Our old schedule was working actually way better than the new schedule. And I actually had friends at all the other high schools who had contacted me and said, we got to do something about this. We got to, we have to do something about this. And they were all my age too. So we were all just a bunch of 16-year-olds being upset. And so we got together at our public library and we sat down and we said, okay, well, why don't we fix this? Let's think of ways that we can fix this. And I said, well, here, I will talk to the superintendent first and see what he says. Well, at the time, we had this kind of, he's no longer here for another reason that actually kind of follows up with from mine, but he wasn't necessarily the best kind of superintendent. I went in, I told him what was going on, and instead of kind of giving me an answer, it was, oh, you should join your student council. You're so smart. You're so, and it was kind of like he was just patronizing us. He was just, wow, you guys are so smart. And it was like, can you treat us like we're adults, because we're 16, we know what we're doing,
Ryan, I do want to interject.
Sure.
You're gonna deal with those people throughout the rest of your life.
Oh yes, and and it was like, oh my gosh, like, is he for real? Like, and I was able to kind of like tell what he was doing, but my friends were kind of like falling into it, like, oh, he's so sweet. And I said, guys, don't you understand? He just patronized us. And then they kind of stood there for a second, and they're like, oh my gosh, and we were all like kind of upset about it. So we got together every single weekend for like a month and a half. We actually spent like both Saturdays and Sundays sitting around talking about what we can do. So our first plan of attack was make a petition. The petition would have copies, so we would have one at every school. And then, of course, we would contact our school to make sure that it was okay if we, promoted it or projected it. And then we had to choose somebody who had to talk to the public. And me being a public speaker, they chose me to do that. So we actually had the newspaper call us and ask us more about what was going on. It actually caused a bigger uproar than we thought it would, primarily because a lot of the schools didn't allow us to project that we had a petition going on. My school allowed me to do it, but the other schools said no. So when I told our local newspaper about that, they decided to call and ask why that was, and they said, oh, well, they don't want us to interfere with the educational time. However, when I was talking to them, I said the only time you're allowed to sign it is during lunch. So a lot of the principals who kind of were just trying to cover up the fact that they weren't allowed to project about this ended up getting a lot of like the parents that were just calling and absolutely angry, like, why can't you let our kids know about this? Those schools, they weren't allowed to talk about it. They weren't allowed to put an announcement in their school newspaper. They weren't allowed to say anything. Whereas my school, we made like announcements like crazy. We had lines upon lines of students signing the petition at lunchtime. It was really amazing. But then we thought, okay, well, we have the petition, but they don't want to go back to the original school schedule. What can we do? So we sat down for another month, and we actually created our own schedule. We created 3 schedules. We called it Schedule A, B, and C. And then we kind of had like a little description of what's different if they couldn't just look at the chart themselves. You never know. Sometimes adults can look over the most simplest of things.
Amen.
And so we made this like beautiful pamphlet and everything about how to, like how you can make it work and what the bell schedules would be like, et cetera, et cetera. And then our final plan of attack was to go to the district borough meeting. They only had one once a month. So at this point, we had about, I want to say about 1,200 signatures, give or take, from all the schools. That includes student and some staff that were like, I've been here for 25 years. I have nothing to lose, and we went to the meeting, and now how our borough works is we actually have one student, one lucky student who gets to be part of the borough meetings, and it is the representative of most of the school, the student body, I should say. And he actually knew what we were doing, and he was so excited, and he was from a completely separate town, actually. So, and he didn't have kind of this problem much, but, and he was like, oh, yeah, you guys got this, go on, present it. I'm so excited to see you guys tonight, and so we even told parents, teachers, and students, please come to this meeting. Any support is better than no support at all. And we had so many people show up that it actually took a lot longer to go through the meeting. But as we presented it, me being the main speaker, I said a speech about what we did. We gave them the other ideas that they could go off of, and we left it at that. So at the end, usually they go through, and each person who's up on the board speaks on behalf of, what they tapped over for today. And none of them had said a word about us. Like the entire way. It was silent. We were like really kind of uncomfortable, like how, like they're not saying a word about the fact that we have 20 students who showed up, and each of them said something about the schedule. We had 3 parents show up and a couple of staff members show up from each of the schools. And finally, it goes to the student body, the head of the student body. He's actually now a personal friend of mine, and he gets up, and he was absolutely furious. And he looked at them, and he said, I would like to say I am absolutely disappointed in most of my borough committee today because none of them have acknowledged what these 5 students have gone through to make their voice be heard. And the fact that you guys are still shutting them out says a lot about our school district.
Shazam!
You should have seen the faces on all of them. They went white, and they just sat there like, oh gosh, like, we didn't think he would actually call us out on that, and it was so funny. And well, I mean, I found it hysterical. My friends were like, yeah, I mean, he's not wrong, but I feel awkward now, So I'm like, yeah, you go, dude, But, and we ended up winning, actually. About a week later, we hadn't heard a word from them since. And, my friends were like, Ryan, what's our next attack? And I was like, well, there's nothing we can do for now. We just got to wait it out. And a week later, they announced that they would change the schedules by the next semester because the end of the semester was rolling up quick. So we're like, yeah, we won. And, it was in the newspapers. People were thanking us up and down. Students that I didn't even know were like, oh my gosh, Ryan, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You don't know what this means to me. And I'm like, I don't know you, but I'm glad. I helped you out. Cool, So, yeah.
Well done.
Thank you. It was, what happened later was, this was pretty public. I mean, it was very in the news. It turns out that our superintendent had actually covered up a couple of serious cases in which a couple of parents got a lawyer for and ended up trying to sue the school district because he kept covering them up, and the school district actually had no idea about it. And so because of us, it kind of did lead to the fact that he was actually doing stuff that was illegal. and so we're happy because it gave justice to the students who didn't get justice when they asked for it. And, and it was just kind of like, wow, we did that? Like, we helped out with that? Really? No way,
It's amazing.
So it was kind of, it led from one thing to the next, and it was fantastic. It was absolutely amazing, and it wasn't a cakewalk. It was
Right.
really hard, especially being a kid. A lot of people don't want to listen to you, and I'm actually studying education right now, and it's one of those things where, we also have to realize as human beings that, kids are humans too, and sometimes the things that kids can say will blow your mind. They can be the most smartest geniuses in the world, and they are going to be the next people to take over this world, so it's up to us to make sure that we are not going to ignore them.
No, I think you're absolutely correct. 100%. 100%. I think a lot of children and teenagers and young adults are way smarter than a lot of 60-year-olds I have met. I don't know if that's because the 60-year-olds that I know have just been beaten down by life to the point where they're like, okay, or what it is. But I hear you loud and clear, sister. I really do. Now, at 16, what gave you that drive at the young age of 16 to be like, ain't accepting this, pass?
Primarily because our town is very small. So chances are you know the person who is making your food at the restaurant, or the person who's delivering your mail. And the thing is that when you have such a tight-knit community, there comes a certain time in which some people like to take over the power that they don't actually necessarily have, and they make it happen anyways, in which actually changes everybody's lives, not for the better. And and that's kind of how it went with our school district. They were changing a lot of things that just, didn't make any sense. It wasn't actually helping anybody. It was making everything worse for everyone, and it was actually kind of like making life a little bit harder for high school students. And, at the time I was going through a lot, actually. I actually was battling a stomach virus. I actually had a little TMI. I apologize. It was a cousin of the Black Plague in my stomach. I had no idea what was wrong with me. So the whole time I was going to the hospital constantly, and I was I couldn't eat food. It wouldn't stay.
That's horrible. I'm sorry to hear that.
It was crazy because I did this as I was practically sitting there in a hospital bed half the time, and and it was just kind of one of those things where it made sense on why we should do this, because we were so tired of people not asking us what we think. That like the students did not matter in their eyes. What mattered is what they saw, not what we saw. And at that point, I had said, you know what, this is ridiculous. I'm going to fight, and I'm going to continue fighting for this, because this is not okay. You can't be treating, especially with high school kids, they're very self-aware. Yes, they struggle with who they are. I mean, we all do. That's a normal high school thing. For any high school listeners, that's so normal. Don't be afraid. I promise, it does get better. But it was one of those things where, they didn't really treat us as if we were moments away from walking down the aisle of getting our diploma and walking straight into a college. They treated us as if we are nothing more than their property. And that, and that just, it kind of fueled that flame in me. Like, that's not okay. I'm a human being. I am not some sort of toy. I'm not, oh, let's put this mouse in the maze and see where they go.
Ryan, you're going to encounter that a lot more in life.
I'm like, here I am in like my third year of college. I was like, okay. But it was just one of those things where I felt like this is what needs to be done, because at this point they're pushing their limits with us. To what extent is it no longer about what you guys want?
Yeah. It's unacceptable. So, you were right to rebel. It's completely unacceptable. I'm very thankful that you had that foresight, and I don't even go to your high school. Much respect.
Right.
Tell me about now. Now you're going to school at the college, and you're studying education. So do you want to teach? Is that your goal?
So my goal is to, I'm actually double majoring for right now. I'm still kind of toying with which way I want to go the most, but I'm double majoring in education and in Japanese. In Japan, they're kind of asking people from America to come over, but at the same time, they kind of don't want that, if that makes sense. They're kind of like, oh, which way do we want it? Do we really want, people from the outside coming in, that kind of thing. But for the most part right now, they're kind of desperate to have people start speaking English, primarily because there's a lot of they're having a great time when it comes to their actual financial economy, but when it comes to their actual population itself, it's starting to decline, and it's kind of making them a little worried, and they want to make sure that they can continue this culture to be thriving. And so it's it's very complex. It's very, very complex. But my goal is to graduate with either both an education major and a Japanese major, or one being a minor, and hopefully joining the JET program. It's pretty much they send you to Japan. It's called the Japanese Exchange for Teachers, and they send you to Japan to teach for 2 to 5 years, and then you come back, and it's kind of like an exchange, but you get paid for doing it, kind of thing, and they help you find a place to live, and you can do all that kind of fun stuff. But I know my boyfriend has been dying for me to do it.
Does your man want you gone?
Well, he's actually lives in Japan, so it was kind of like, oh, you should come here soon.
That's sweet. And you're very involved. You're involved with the Japan Alaska Club at your university.
Yes, I am. I'm involved in the Japan Alaska Club and the esports gaming club. I'm actually one of the only female gamers that actually shows up, so that's also fun. Yeah, that's a whole nother topic, trust me.
We can go there. We got a few minutes. What is that about?
So, the esports gaming club, it's this amazing club through TESPA. TESPA is the Technical International Gaming Club Committee, and so when you want to have a gaming club on your university, they will actually sponsor you, as long as you follow through their rules and whatnot. And they actually have a ton of connections through giant gaming companies such as Blizzard or Nintendo and things like that. Pretty much what I do, I'm actually the secretary of both the Japan Alaska Club and the Esports Gaming Club. Mm-hmm. So with the Esports Gaming Club, I actually run, there's this video game called Overwatch, and I run the Overwatch chapter, so I'll get people to play Overwatch with me. And it's actually kind of interesting because we can actually get scholarships for it. Being a female gamer is a completely different ballpark, I can admit, especially in times like these. We usually try to keep our talking to a minimum when we're online playing video games. Mm-hmm. It's very hard for a female gamer to be, you can go on YouTube and see all the trouble that a lot of female gamers go through when it comes to gaming. They'll get guys going, oh, get off, this isn't Barbie, or, they'll get guys that say, oh, you suck at this game because it's an RPG or first-person shooter, in which it's kind of like a shooting game kind of thing. And the moment we say, oh, watch your back, the guy will go, oh, is this a girl? Oh my gosh, a girl playing video games? It's like, dude, what are you, But recently, it has gotten a lot less toxic. I actually was once harassed on Overwatch. I was playing as one of the healers, and this guy was, I said, oh, look out behind you, there's blank coming after you, and this guy goes, wait, you're a girl? And I was like, yeah, so what? And he starts kind of telling me off, oh, girls aren't supposed to play video games, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And all of a sudden he dies, and we're on the major group chat, which the other team can hear us too. And he dies, and this lady goes on the headphone set, and she killed him, and she sniped him, which is a very hard class to do. You're from afar, and you have to aim right at the last second. And she goes, what did you say games weren't for girls? Everybody just on the chat just cracked up. It was hilarious. But yeah, so it was absolutely hilarious. But yeah, so gaming, when it comes to female gaming, it can be either the best time of your life or the hardest time of your life. But a lot of times, you'd actually be surprised on how many people really will stand up for you on those live chats and whatnot. You just got to be careful of who you're playing with.
Do you think that's a generational thing? I noticed millennial dudes are way cooler about women. I don't want to generalize. It's not fair because there's a lot of boomers who are cool and Gen Xers who are cool too. But it seems like your generation is more with it.
Yeah, it's very rare to find somebody who's not necessarily, usually it's the guys that are still living with their parents and they're 35. I'll be honest. It really is. Or it's the guys who live in the basement of their friend's home and do nothing but play Call of Duty all day.
I can't play Call of Duty. I got bone spurs, girl. I got bone spurs.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. But yeah, So that's a little bit about that. The Japan Alaska Club, it's just a club where it's actually kind of nice. It's not just a club, I shouldn't say, but it's a club where we pretty much get together and we try to talk about all of the all of our cultural things, but not only that, but like kind of introduce them to fun things that we do here in Alaska. So for instance, I'm actually taking a couple of the exchange students next week. We're gonna actually go all the way to Anchorage in one of those tiny planes
Oh,
for American
wow.
Airlines.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that, and they're really excited for that, it's just kind of like one of those things where it's our job to kind of help them out, and especially when they're trying to learn English, we're there to help, and they're there to help us, especially if we're learning Japanese.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you're incredible, Ryan. I'm looking forward to
thank you.
I'm looking forward to watching your life path as you walk it, Like I just think you're
Thank you.
yeah, super rad.
Thank you so much.
So Ryan, if you had to give a nugget of advice to someone living in the lower 48 who's thinking like, well, this is really messing up my life. How do I activate change? What could they do?
The one thing you want to do is follow your heart. I know that sounds super cliche. I know that you hear it in Disney movies. You hear it everywhere. Oh, follow your dreams, follow your heart. And a lot of people end up kind of dropping the ball on that. They end up kind of, I don't want to do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. And the thing is, sometimes, you know what, to be honest, yeah, sometimes you can't do it. Know your limitations, but don't give up your heart. A lot of people think, oh, because you can't do something or because it didn't work the first time, try something new, try something different. Look at it from a different angle. I actually was going to school to become a veterinarian, and most of my friends know me by the girl who knows everything about animals. But then I realized, I had been working for, going to school for like 3 years, and I felt like I was getting nowhere, and I felt like I wasn't being successful. And I sat down and I thought to myself, I was like, well, what makes me happy? What's the things that make me happy? And I realized, I work as a tutor, and I realized working with the kids is like one of the funnest things that I've ever done in my life, because kids are just the most amazing people. They can tell you the most funniest things or the most saddest things. They're amazing, amazing people to be around, and sometimes they outsmart you. And that's what I liked. It was something new every day. And, with my Japanese homework, I realized that I spent more time trying to study my Japanese than I did with my biology. And I just kind of realized, those things make me happy. So why am I going for something else? Why am I chasing my heart for something that I'm kind of excited about, but not so much happy about, So my advice is follow your heart. If it doesn't work the first time, see it from a new angle and listen to yourself. Listen to your heart, listen to your mind, and listen to what your body is trying to tell you. Because sometimes people bite off more than they can chew. And that's okay, because we all do that. It's just how life works. We sometimes bite it off, and now we know how much we need to bite off the next time.
Sometimes you got to spit it out.
Yeah, sometimes you got to spit it out, and you have to bite the sandwich on the other side.
Yep.
Or maybe from the same side, It's all about how you handle life. It's no one else's life but yours. So live it.
Ryan, thank you so much. I think you're a wonderful human being, and
thank you.
I think whatever children you're going to teach are just going to thrive,
Right. And I really hope that they do, because kids are the next generation, and it's time that we start paying attention to what they think.
Yeah, it is. And I'm glad that you shared what you think.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for having me on the show. I'm actually very honored to be on here, so thank you so much.
I'm honored that you're here. I wish we could go for some nigiri, but that ain't gonna happen tonight. So.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, darling. Thank you so much, Ryan Anderson, for sharing your good ideas and your enthusiasm. And thanks, y'all, for joining us here at WOMENACE to Society. Come back for next WOMENACE Wednesday. Join me at lisalander.com. Sign up for my newsletter. You will get a free audio download. Ari, you ain't been to Alaska yet, boo. We got to go fishing. I would take you. I'm vegan, but I'll still watch that happen and applaud you when you catch a fish.